Connecting to the cloud. There we are, and we're recording. Fabulous. Right, this workshop is a combination of two of my best watched workshops, and it also covers two of the most important things that I teach my clients. And I'm doing this because that whole tic-tac-toe thing is what I'm going to be drawing for you mainly today. Now, again, going old school, we've got, instead of even a whiteboard, I'm even going to do it on paper, and I've got all of my notes on paper too. So this is really back to my roots of coaching. So we're going to talk about how survival mode for your body, and how you project yourself in and out of your past and your future using your mind combine to create presence and alignment. And anything outside that presence and alignment, you'll see what I mean in a minute, is where you're going to have your problems. And I'm hoping that even if you go through this entire workshop with me and can only manage to not give a shit for 10 minutes, I will consider that a win. Fair warning, I do curse, and that's just the way I am, so live with it. I'm hoping not to go too expletively though, because when I put these workshops on YouTube, I always feel kind of happy with myself that I can tick the no expletives. So we're going to start with the window of tolerance. And the window of tolerance is normally illustrated as a window that you are within. And, in life, stresses will take you up and down, but staying within this window of tolerance is what we would all like to do. Now, when a stressor takes us so that we're out of that window of tolerance, when these stresses bring our energy levels up, we go into fight and flight, where our nervous system and our body is ready to either fight the danger or run away from it. When the downward trend makes us want to hide or disappear, we have fall. Depending on where you are around the world, it depends on how that's spelt, so shoot me if I spell it wrong. Or freeze. Now, personally, freeze is where I probably spent many years of my life. Totally shut down, not wanting to discuss things with anybody because I made the mistake. I say made the mistake. I kind of fell in love with a control freak, even more of a control freak than me. Control freak to the point where this guy was a full-blown narcissist and he controlled me. So along with these, I'm going to try and use different colors. So when you're outside this window, you have fight or flight, fawn or freeze. And this is your body's nervous system, which I will probably denote in future diagrams as just NS. So it's your body and your nervous system creates this flow. Up and down and up and down. Sometimes you'll go into fight or flight, sometimes you'll dip down, but most of the time you'll spend inside this window, unless you become either chronically activated or chronically shut down. So that's your first picture. Now I'm going to move the microphone a little bit because there's another picture I want to draw you now. And these are the two vertical lines of that shape I was talking about. And on this side you have your past. Here you have your future, and in the middle is your present. When you're dealing with feelings of regret and depression, That's because you are here in your past, and your mind puts you here. But when you are in your future, you're fearing a future quite often, and that's where your anxiety comes from. So both of these fluctuations and this swinging from past to future and past to future and past to future that our brains does, both of these systems from our body and our mind mess us up, basically. But what I'm going to explain, hopefully, and give you some choices is how to be in this sweet spot in the middle. So I'm going to change pens and just remind you that all of this section is your past. All of this section is your future. This is where your depression lies. This is where your anxiety lies. Up the top here, this entire section is your, we're just going to call it F and F, fight or flight. And then down here is your, another variety of F and F, but this is your fawn and freeze. Okay. So where you are outside your window of tolerance, which is here, and where you are outside your present is where you're out of balance. And it's this beautiful square in the middle where you are not only inside your window of tolerance, but you're also in the present where you are aligned, big A. The chronic activation, whether it's, you know, most likely up the top here with people pleasers, comes from when you feel, your mind feels that you've got to do more, you've got to please more, you've got to be driven in order to be safe. Yeah, you become your own cheerleader up here, and it's exhausting outside your window of tolerance. So if you allow yourself to drop down into your window of tolerance and let go of that, this is what I was saying earlier about, you know, if you can find a way to not give a shit, yeah, just a little bit, just to not, it's literally like not caring. But in not caring, you are caring for yourself. To bring yourself up out of fawn or freeze, to allow yourself to feel and get back into your window of tolerance. And if you can release the past and not worry so much about the future, you can bring yourself back into this center square, this point of alignment. Because see, what happens when, you know, when runners, you know, you've heard about like marathon runners that they hit the wall. Yeah, that wall is where they have allowed themselves to be or allowed their mind to override their body, to push and push and push and push and push. That brain overrides your body's need to survive and pushes you up here into this wide area up here. And while you're doing this run, yeah, you can stay up here until your body says, no, stop. And then it forces you to drop down. That's where that wave brings you, you know, you hit that wall and your body drops down again. Sometimes when runners hit the wall, they literally fall to the ground. Sometimes they pause. The positives and negatives of this survival mode up here, yeah, this survival mode, I cover at great length in another video, which you can either find on YouTube by searching Living in Survival Mode on my channel, or you can, so my dog is being weird, or you can search it in the Facebook group. It's in here as well. If you need the link for it, just message me and I'll send it to you. So what happens is your brain has this positive influence to create that survival and safety in the short term, but it can also create chronic activation up here. which is where your hypervigilance, yeah, or where you hide from everything and you just shut down completely. And when you're down here, it can feel like you don't care because your body is shutting off your feelings. So where I try and encourage my clients to be is in this middle square. In this middle square, your limiting beliefs can try and pull you out in whatever direction. Yeah. But by keeping yourself in this square, by using gratitude, by seeking out your daily wins, by seeking out evidence that you are safe, using breath, using forgiveness, yeah. My favorite of all time, my favorite forgiveness affirmation is the one that I give at the end of that Living in Survival Mode workshop. And it goes like this: I forgive myself for all that I did while in survival mode. Yeah. So it's taking your brain's ability to bring you back into your window of tolerance, and also your brain's ability to bring you from the past into your present, all in that one phrase. And your brain can do that. Your brain is pretty powerful. Now, I'm going to take this down because we're now going to go into the hows of narrowing this way. Yeah, we've talked a lot about coming back into your window of tolerance. I now want to talk about going from the past and the future back into. That's going to tear off nicely. Oh, go on, tear off nicely. Okay. Right. So the best way to come from the past into your present, yeah, to come this way, is a 3-step plan that I go into in great depth in the Being Present in Your Present workshop. But I'm going to go through the highlights here. The first thing to do, right, step 1, is to acknowledge your past. And you do that from like a 30,000 feet view, where you observe what's happened in your past, as if you were like watching on the television or up in a helicopter. So you're not in your past, you're observing it. So we're going to call that acknowledge. So you acknowledge what's happened to you. Yeah. The next thing to do is forgiveness. Forgiveness can also get you into this present moment because you can forgive the person, but not what they did. Now, trigger warning, excuse me. Trigger warning here. When you're in a situation of abuse, for instance, I would never expect a person to actually forgive the abuse, because abuse is wrong. End of story, no matter how it manifests. So I'm not asking you to say that it's all right that that thing happened to you, but instead release yourself from the hatred by forgiving the person, because quite often the abuser is acting from a place of abuse themselves. Yeah, this is where the generational abuse comes from. And especially in certain cultures where behaviors are expected. I'm not going to go into any details with that because I don't want this to be a massively difficult or challenging workshop. But by stage 3, right? I'm going to write the word trigger. And what's amazing about this word is the opportunity to learn. One thing I say to my clients often is never miss a trigger. Never miss a trigger. Don't push that trigger down. Don't park it on a shelf. Yeah. Become aware of what your triggers are, because you can learn from them. If you find yourself in a situation where something happens, some mundane, normal little thing, and you fly off the handle, stop and think, why did I react that way? When was the first time I felt this way? Or, before that, have I felt this way before? Is that the first time I felt that way? And unpack that trigger. And finally, in this active acknowledgement of your past, finally, gratitude. Gratitude can bring you from the past into your present by doing all of these things and still being grateful for the opportunity to learn. Yeah. So this is just stage one of getting from your past into your present. You can see that, a couple of these things, this stage of acknowledgement, forgiveness can release you from that point in the past and bring you into the present. Becoming aware of your triggers and looking for that learning point. What is that learning point? What is the thing that's triggering you from the past? And then actively having gratitude can bring you into your present. Just notice this line is not very visible, so let's make it a bit more visible. Now, to get you from the future and that anxiety, step 2. Yeah. And this is about release. This is very much releasing your fear of the future to bring you back into the present. And there's 2 things that I would encourage at this point. The first one is planning, having a plan, making a plan. And the second one is your self-care. By looking at what needs doing in the future and creating a plan, you can limit the amount of time you spend in the future. Are you with me? Yeah. I see the one person who's here live is nodding. That's great. Fabulous. But I'm just going to explain it in one more angle, just in case you're watching the replay and you're thinking, huh? When you plan, you literally step into, where are we? Friday. It's Friday today. So we could step into Monday and say, right, in order to make Monday great, I need to achieve this one thing. And on Friday, we're looking at Monday and saying, right, that's the one thing that I want to achieve. And we're writing it down. And then we go to Tuesday and say, okay, what would make Tuesday great? You look at what appointments you've got to be at, all of the things you've got to do on that day. But in addition to that, what's going to make that day really rock? What's the one thing out of all of Tuesday? What's the one thing that you can put a circle around? Yeah. Now, right now, can I just ask the person who's watching this live, can you hear the dog bark? You can hear him. Okay, just a second. Anybody who works with me coaching knows that Buddy is part of the package. It's definitely part of the package. But at the moment, I've had a new window put in at the front, and I haven't got round to sticking up the screen. So right now, he can see everything that goes on outside the window. What I'm going to have is like a screen that goes like halfway up, and it just blurs everything on the outside. So he's not quite so active. That's on my list of things for the weekend. And the reason why I'm not getting stressed about him barking today is because I've already planned that task into the weekend. I don't have to get up and try and figure it out right now because I've planned it. I've already gone and planned that problem. So whenever he woofs, I just tell him to get down off the sofa and I release the worry. Because I know that next week, this is not going to happen. Because by next week, the screen will be up. Yeah, this is how planning has released my fear or my worry about my dog making a noise during this workshop. Because one, it's not going to ruin this workshop. And second, it's not going to happen next week. So by planning my weekend, by planning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have this sort of rather complicated planning system. Yeah, again, not going to go into details with this, but I have my main task for the week, how I'm going to do it, other things that I've got to get in. These are my wins from last week, because it's always important to look at your wins, the lesson I learned from last week, and where I'm stuck, right? This is where I ask for help. And then I plan out each of the days, all color-coded. I know, very organized. But that's because I'm a flipping control freak. Yeah. And also because I have learned that by planning, I can prevent anxiety. Literally prevent it. It literally disappears in a puff of logic, because I haven't got to worry about anything, because it's all in the plan. It's all on the plan. When I get up each morning, I don't have to think, oh shit, what have I got to do today? What's on my to-do list? You know, what can I cross off? What can I not do? Yeah, because it's all planned. So this plan takes me out of the future and allows me to be fully present in my present, focusing what I'm doing right now in this moment. I don't have to think about what I'm doing tomorrow because it's on the plan. I don't have to worry about what I'm doing next week because I've got my trusty notepad of all the things that have tried to distract me. Because I've had a number of things gone on. I've had this task sitting here for my VA. I need to look at a couple of the SOPs that we've got running, and I've got it on this piece of paper. And every night I put it on my keyboard, so that it's the first thing I see. And I will not throw this piece of paper away until that task is done. But all of that just takes away the anxiety. Yes, there's a task, but you know what? If I don't finish it today, this task just gets bounced to tomorrow. So that's where the planning comes in. And anything that triggers, yeah, my anxiety of the future gets dropped onto my notepad, which is called next week. And next week it becomes part of the plan. I normally do my planning personally. I start it on a Sunday when I'm kind of preparing myself mentally for the following week. I start it on the Sunday, but it's always done by close of play on Monday. I have planned out the whole week. So that's where my planning goes. Now, the other really, really important thing is self-care. I plan my self-care. Yeah? And for this week, my self-care comes in the form of Saturday. Saturday, I have decided I'm not going to do any work. I'm not going to do any stuff on my business. None of it. I'm going to finish off an embroidery that I've been doing, and I'm going to frame it. That's my job for Saturday. And that little task itself probably can take about 4 hours. Yeah. But that's my rest time. Further on into the winter, I'll have things like, okay, I'm going to allocate myself like an hour a day to do a jigsaw puzzle. Love doing jigsaw puzzles. Jigsaw puzzles are what I call, what is it? Intentional mindlessness. Fabulous phrase, and I love it. But that's what, keeps me in my present. Yeah. So we've got planning and we've got planning self-care. Both of those things take me out of the future into the present, because I don't have to worry about the future because it's sussed. Yeah. And anything that's not planned goes on next week pad. Yeah. So now we're on to that final section, that chunk in the middle. Yeah. Different pen, red pen. Right. So I'm now going to add to this the 2 horizontal lines from the previous thing. Right. Fight or flight. If you don't give a shit, you don't get activated. If you are actively involved in your life, you bring yourself from this freeze section back into your window of tolerance. So we're now completely present in the present. We are aligned. Aligned. Oh, Lord, you know what? My dyslexia is playing horrible tricks on me today. So, but that's not all, right? That's not all I've got to teach you today, because I can almost hear everybody out there, as happened when I did this workshop originally. You're saying, okay, that all sounds great, but how do I do that? How do I do that? I've been telling you what you've got to do, yeah? But how do I do that, you're saying? Okay. 3 different tools. I'm probably going to go through at least 3 sheets of paper. No, 2 sheets of paper. Okay. I've already explained to you with the vertical lines, yeah, that this is your past, where depression lives. This is your future, where anxiety lives. You've also got your window of tolerance, where fight or flight, F&F, and fawn and freeze. I'm just going to do F&F again there. So we'll just leave those up there to remind you. Yeah. So I've got these lines, which make your hash state. This is where you want to be. Yeah. But I want to talk to you about this wonderful concept of life force as explained by an amazing psychologist, right? And I'm saying an amazing psychologist because I have yet to be able to figure out how to pronounce his name. It is spelt S-T-U-T-Z. Yeah, I can't figure out how to say that. I've even asked various, automated services to tell me how to spell that, but that's his name. Look him up. He's brilliant. S-T-U-T-Z. Yeah. Now, he explains life force in this amazing triangle, and I love the way he does this. Right, let's just make sure that my microphone's not in the way. There we go. Right. So your life force comes up from the bottom into your life. And your life is split into 3 portions. Now, the first place where this life force manifests is in your body. And if you've got a block, one of these blocks that we've already talked about, yeah, if you've got a block going on that stops your energy getting into your body is not going to have the strength in your nervous system to get you back out of these 2 states, back into your window of tolerance. So this block here is what's going on when you're out of your window of tolerance. But if you look after your body, yeah, this part of your pyramid has got that firm foundation. Now, I believe that this chap has got this body section at the bottom of the triangle because this is where your life rests. This is the part of you that carries the load of your life. Your body carries the load of your life. You walk around inside your body. Your body carries your awareness from one place to another. And if there is a second block here, this block is this block. And this prevents you from forming connection. When you study this chap, he actually puts the word people in here. But I choose to use the word connection in here because this is your connection to, yes, people. But I find that we also connect to nature, which includes animals. So this is more to me than just connection to people. This is connection to people, nature, and animals. And if you're locked in the past or constantly afraid of the future, that's going to stop you making those connections. And only when you are in this space and in this space, in other words, when you're in that aligned space, this is where you have true access to yourself. Yeah. Now he uses the word self in here. I use the word higher. Your higher self, your real self, your intuition, yeah, the fullness of you, the you that can go out and make your goals happen, the version of you that is able to lift other people up. You can only do that with connection, and you can only do the connection if you have that firm foundation. So when I'm talking to my clients, I will always teach them first to look after their bodies. Yeah, that can be done in so many different ways. I mean, seriously, let me just list a few. Right. Good nutrition, exercise. If it's not exercise, move your body. Yeah. Bounce around to music in your sitting room. Have dance parties with your kids. Yeah. Honor, respect, and care for the body that carries your awareness around. Because once your body is fulfilled, you can then make true connections to your clients, to your friends, to your work colleagues, to nature. Yeah? Just imagine with me for a moment, maybe even close your eyes. But just imagine yourself somewhere where your feet are in touch with the ground. Just focus on your feet on the ground. Now, some of you are going to imagine your feet on sand, where when you wriggle your toes, you can feel the sand moving between your toes. Others, myself in particular, I imagine my feet on grass. So when my toes wriggle, I can feel the blades of grass on my feet. I can feel the cool sensation of the ground under my feet. Yeah. That kind of connection is impossible. If you're living in the past, or if you're afraid of the future, you won't feel that presence. You won't be able to be present in your present if you are anxious about the future or lost in your past. So body is the first thing. Then connection. It's only when you're fully connected to your body, honoring your body and looking after your body, that you can then energetically connect with people, nature, animals. Yeah. Just letting that settle for a second. Once your body is happy, once your connection to others is fully fulfilled, only then can you actually work on yourself. The reason why I stack it like this, the reason why this chap stacks it like this, is because a lot of people go out and they want to do loads and loads of self-development. They read all the books, they do all of the courses, they listen to all of the podcasts, right? And none of it works. None of it works because they are not connected to the work they're doing, because they're not respecting their body. This is why I am a somatic coach, because I start here. Yeah. People who work with me, especially one-to-one, will experience every now and again, I'll go, whoa, 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 stop. You're all in your head, love. Take a deep breath, feel that breath go down into your body and expel it with intention, like you're blowing out a candle that's 6 feet away. Yeah. You know, the one person who's on this call is nodding because I've done that with her. Yeah. Breathe in through your nose. Everybody do it now. And blow that candle out that's 6 feet away. Do it again. Breathe in. Feel that air go all the way down to the bottom of your belly and then blow out like you mean it, you know. One more time. Breathe in and blow out. Now, whether or not your mind is connected to your body at that point, your body is awakened. This boundary has gone. Your awareness is now in your body. And it's amazing how just 3 breaths with those intentions can bring you out of your head, out, away from your anxiety, away from your depression, into the present moment. Those 3 breaths can bring you down from fight or flight back into your window of tolerance. But it can also stimulate you from frozen back into your window of tolerance, back into this sweet spot here, right? And that's one way to think about your life force coming through your body, through your connection, up into your higher self. And we're going to go on to another page. I actually quite like gripping the paper off. Something about it. Right. What I need to do, though, I dropped that pen, but you know what? It matters not, because guess what? I bought a pack of 3 of these purple highlighters. I mean, seriously, the world needs more purple highlighters in the world. Okay. Now, there are 2 really easy ways of stimulating your light force, right? And I'm going to explain both of them to you because I'm in a really generous mood. This is usually stuff that gets taught one-to-one by me, or in small groups who are part of 3P's program. Yeah, but I'm just going to give them both away right now. Okay, you ready? First one, grab a piece of paper and draw a shape like this. Yeah, because you're going to make 2 lists. The first one, oh, and in this list, by the way, there are going to be 4 things, right? There are going to be activities. Yeah. There are going to be foods. There are going to be people. And there are going to be places. But you're going to put them into 2 columns, right? They are going to be feed me, it'll make sense in a minute, and deplete me. So this list, right, if you're watching on the replay, you can pause, right? Not right now, but when I've finished explaining, you can pause and you can do it. If you're watching this live, I want you to write this down or take a screenshot or something, yeah? Because I want you to write a list of activities, foods, people and places that feed you, that light you up, yeah? For me, activities are things like mowing my lawn, lights me up. It makes me happy. I don't know why. Yeah. When I left home, I lived on boats for 34 years, yeah? I've only had a lawn for like 2 and a bit years. Yeah, 2 years, I suppose. Yeah, 2 years. But for some reason, mowing a lawn makes me really happy. Foods. And this, again, will probably make some people question me. But you know what? One of my favorite foods, dry roasted peanuts. I love dry roasted peanuts. Yeah, I love them. But, you know, oh, and anything that's lemony, lemon flavored, lemon biscuits, lemon cake, lemon cheesecake, even like lemon tea. Yeah, lemon stuff, citrus stuff feeds me. Yeah. People. Most of my clients feed me. Not all of them. I've got a couple that deplete me. That when I've worked with them for an hour, I need to just, and literally I do this. I work with them for an hour and then I go for a lay down. I have a nap. Yeah. And places. Yeah, places. Let me think of a place. Well, laying on the grass in my back garden in the summer, watching the clouds go by, that's a really happy place for me. That's a place that feeds me. Depletes me. Activities that deplete me. Yeah. Doing my tax return wears me right out. Doing my mother's tax return wears me right out. That's a deplete me activity. Yeah. Anything to do with my dishwasher, whether it's filling my dishwasher, emptying my dishwasher, it's just a job that I don't like to do. Foods that deplete me. Now, this is a challenge when it comes to remembering foods that deplete me, because foods that deplete me, I don't eat. Can't think of anything. Okay, we'll have to skip that. People that deplete me. Like I said, there are certain there's one client that I can name, but I won't for obvious reasons. One particular client who, when I work with them, really difficult. I have to go and have a lay down. But the activity of coaching them feeds me. Yeah. But there's just a little bit of imbalance with that particular person, in that I find it slightly more exhausting than uplifting. Yeah? So, but you know, I do it because coaching lights me up. Places that I really don't like going, right? There is a shop in Woodbridge. There's a co-op in Woodbridge that's really exhausting. It's like there's no natural light in there at all. It's all like fake lighting, and it's really like that old-fashioned flickery overhead light. I just don't like it in there. It also feels really cramped and small, like the aisles are too close together. Yeah. If I could avoid not ever going into that shop ever again, yeah, I would. The only reason why I do have to go in that shop every now and again is because in that post, they have a post office inside, and they've got one of those photo booths for things like driving licenses and passports and all that kind of stuff. You know, the classic headshot thing. Yeah. So there is going to be a time in my life when I'm going to have to go back in there again to get a photograph, but I don't like it in there. Really don't. So your first task after this call, and like I said, if you're watching the replay, you can pause it and do it now, right? But after this call, write a list of things that feed you, a list of things that deplete you. And this bit is going to be dead easy, right? You do this stuff, and you don't this. Once you've identified, like I said, the foods that deplete me, the foods that really upset my stomach, for instance. Oh, actually, there's a thought. Anything with gluten in it. It's not that I'm gluten sensitive or anything, but if I have like a lot of gluten all the way through one day, it's really hard work for my intestines, and so I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. I don't go to that co-op in Woodbridge unless I need a photograph. Where I go is the co-op in the next town that way, because it's all the same products, all the same prices, but it's in a much nicer store with much better lighting. Yeah. So I just don't go to places. On the whole, I don't talk to people who deplete me. Life is too short to spend any of my time talking to somebody who is just talking to me to get ammunition to throw at me later. Yeah, there are people like that out there. There are people whose entire life is spent gathering ammunition to badmouth you later. Yeah, I don't talk to them. And I know it sounds harsh, but when you release these people from your life, yeah, a little vacuum is formed. And whatever you want to call it, puts another person in that place. And you then have the choice. Am I going to spend time with this person or am I not? Yeah, it's your choice. Life is too short. Those of you who are watching this who have children, yeah, you might find that those people deplete you. But knowing that you are looking after your kids, regardless of how horrible they are sometimes, is going to feed you. And that will put those people on that dividing line. Yeah, I can talk about this for ages. But this is the job. Put activities, foods, people, and places that feed you in one column. The activities, foods, people, and places that deplete you in another. Do this. Spend time with these people, eat these foods, go to these places, and don't do this. I think what I'll do actually is I'll keep these pieces of paper and stick them up. And if I ever do this talk again, we'll use all of these things. Right. Final to-do list.
Time to drink water.
This is your joy list. And I'm going to make this look really pretty by writing it in 2 different colors. This is your joy list. The thing with the joy list is to focus on that word joy. And this joy list has to have at least 20 things on it. At least 20 things. And once you've got this list of 20 things, yeah, all the way down to 20. Some people struggle to get 20 things on their joy list, but stick with it. Make yourself come up with 20. And if 20 was easy, yeah, go 50. Maybe 50 things. But these are like the activities, foods, places, people from the previous list. But these are things that bring you joy. Walking with you know who, the person who shall remain nameless, because he's having a little doze at the moment, which is fine. Doing this brings me joy. Mowing my lawn brings me joy. You see how the things duplicate between your feed me, deplete me list and your joy list, right? The things on the feed me side are going to be on your joy list, hopefully. Things that, yeah, things that bring you joy. Just a second. And the task with your joy list is the magical number 3. Do at least 3 things off your joy list. To start with, I'm going to say every week. Yeah, start with 3 a week. And when doing 3 things a week becomes easy, change it to 3 things a day. And do you remember that triangle we did earlier on? Yeah, the life force triangle. Doing things from this joy list increases the amount of life force that is available to you. And by doing things from your joy list that support your body, that create connection with the world around you, yeah, you'll bang yourself up into this self. You will become the best version of yourself. You will become the person who is not locked in the past. That bit will disappear. You will become the person who controls their fear of the future so as to prevent anxiety. You will notice your triggers when you become overstimulated. Yeah, when you go into fight or flight. You will also be able to pick yourself up when you're feeling down. And end up in that magical square. Now, this is where all of this gets a bit woo-woo and a bit clever, right? When I first drew that diagram for you, I drew a single letter in the middle of it. It stood for alignment. Yeah. Your alignment comes from your higher self. Your alignment comes from that foundation of looking after your body, looking after your connections, so that this part of you is sat here, present, in your present, within your window of tolerance. Yeah. So all of these steps, yeah, when I was talking about your window of tolerance earlier, being present in your present, that's you there, and that's you here, present in your present. I hope you found that interesting. I'm just going to take another swig. This is one of the longest workshops I've done, because combining living in survival mode workshop and what did I call the other one? The present in your present workshop, combining them together with some real active tools. Yeah. These are things that you can actually do for yourself right now. These are not difficult. Yeah. The feed me, deplete me list. All that's going to take is a piece of paper. The only thing that I didn't go into in detail is the concept of gratitude and how it can build your mental strength, your nervous system, and your body strength. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to promise next week, yeah, but very soon I'm going to be doing another workshop on gratitude. I have done a workshop on gratitude before, but this time I want to make it bigger, better, stronger, real tools, real stuff like this. Yeah. And that is why I chose to do this workshop on a piece of paper. Yeah. With pens, actively moving my body while I'm communicating this stuff to you. I get really passionate about this. Involving your body in your life, getting out of your head and into your body, is something that I cannot stress enough when it comes to being helpful with anxiety, depression. I mean, you know what? Before I close, I'm going to give you the caveat that I should have given you right at the beginning. There are some brain chemical imbalances that can cause you to be anxious or feel anxious, as well as there are chemical imbalances in your brain that can cause you to feel depressed. However, right, and I'm saying this from a place of personal experience and the experience of several of my clients, yeah, you can make that conscious effort to come from the past, from the future, into your present. And even if you're only in that little square, yeah, for minutes, for minutes, it can improve your quality of life. It really can improve your quality of life. If you find yourself getting to the end of the day and you think, you know what, I was only present in my life for 3 minutes today, tomorrow you might be able to do 4 minutes. The day after you might be able to do 10 minutes, but it takes effort. It takes effort. And that's why I say to people, if you're coming to me looking for tips, tricks, hacks, yeah, I'm not the right coach for you. I will give you tools, not tips, tricks, and hacks. I will give you tools, things that require effort, because life can be as easy as you want it to be, but it takes effort. Same as it takes a bit of effort to put your makeup on, yeah? The same as it takes a bit of effort when it comes to choosing your glasses. And the reason why I'm thinking about choosing my glasses is because I always wear these glasses when I'm talking to you guys. These are my reading glasses. This is what I've got handy for, reading and stuff. But my daytime glasses, right, are these. Completely different statement. And I make a statement about myself every day, just by choosing what clothes I put on, what attitude I'm going to have. And I have discovered over years of working at this, we're talking about 10 years of study. I've probably spent 25,000, if not more, UK pounds on educating myself so that I can educate you. But I can't give you a tip or a trick to instantly fix depression. But I can give you a tool that will help bring you from your past into your present with forgiveness and gratitude from learning from your past. Yeah, I'm now starting to repeat myself. So if you need to go through it again, hit pause, hit rewind. Yeah, go back and watch this live again in the group. This is a resource. This is not just information. These are real life tools which you can use. My gift to you, all of you. Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to tell you one last thing. Do you remember at the beginning of this, I said that, you know, life would be so much easier if we just didn't give a shit. Yeah. This is my secret smile. Yeah. This is the smile that says, I'm going to put this video on, well, it's live in my Facebook group, but I'm also, over the next couple of days, I'm going to put the recording on my YouTube channel. Yeah. And you know what? I really do not, seriously, I do not give a shit whether this video is watched by 3 people, 30 people, 300 people, 3,000 people. I don't care. Because there is one person watching this video live. Yeah. And in this moment, I am present. Yeah. I am present here. Recording this, yes, fine, whatever. Yeah, but I'm here for the one person who's watching me live. That's what lights me up. Coaching lights me up. And like I said, I don't care if this video doesn't get watched by anybody because one person was here live. That's what lights me up. That's what feeds me. So at that point, I'm going to sit up. I'm going to find my mouth and I'm going to stop the recording with a quick bye for now.